As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert Buchanan. You're a small business paramedic. Looks like we're on a little delay there, Crystal.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're still working out technical difficulties, guys, so bear with us. But we're here. That's all I can say is we're here and it's working. So we'll get used to all of the pieces, and we'll have to edit out stuff that doesn't work. But we're cool. We're good. So, Gilbert, how was your week?
Oh, man, this has been a crazy week. I've been working on getting a lot of small businesses ready so they can get their certifications in order, and also so they can pursue business readiness opportunities with their clients. So it's been full. It's been a full week. I still got more to do.
And this is actually a good time for people to actually start, use this time. They should be using this time to make it work, so that when it's time for us to go back, everybody is ready to jump into action without having to do any prepping. Everything should be like on turnkey, right? The minute they say it's time to go back. But the mayor is thinking of extending, because the case I was watching this morning on CNN, and it is just phenomenal, the number of new cases of COVID that has sprung up, and there's not really anything been going on. And of course, the man in the White House is indicating that he's going to shut down testing centers, because if you don't know, then it won't look so bad. That's his philosophy.
Yeah, that is a crazy and heartless thing to do, because not only is he thinking of doing that, but he's also thinking of eradicating and getting rid of Obamacare, because he claims that that's unconstitutional. So if he gets rid of Obamacare, then there will be Trump care, which is
it will be no care. They have nothing. But here is the thing. There was a guy that I saw that had been in the hospital for a number of weeks, older man, a number of weeks, and his bill came to $1.1 million.
What?
That was his bill.
See, that's one of the reasons why a lot of us we're resisting going into the hospital for this COVID thing, because we know because that's not free service. They're gonna charge us for the stay. They're gonna charge us for those ventilators. They're gonna charge us for everything.
Exactly, because it's a hospital stay. So there was no, there's PPP for businesses. There's unemployment for the employees, and we got 20 million people unemployed. There is, there's some forbearance for property owners. There's, I think if you renters protection, but no, there is no go into the hospital without paying. That wasn't part of that. So if you didn't have Obamacare or some sort of health care, so this man came out with $1.1 million in hospital bills. Now that will send you back to the hospital, if you ask me.
The only thing I can say, man, to people out there is make sure if you own a home, you put it in a trust. You put it in a trust, help to protect your assets.
And so the other day, someone was telling me that, okay, you've been in the hospital for all of that severe, the ones that actually got severely, a severe COVID, right?
Right.
But for some people, they're going to come out with some chronic other health issues
Right.
that was perpetuated or created by being on a ventilator for whatever time frame and all the other whatever else it does to your body. So there are going to be some other long-term damage there, and as well as mental damage. So basically, you're going to need health care because you're going to need it to be able to take care of yourself. Because some of them may not even may not go back to work.
So it's gonna be lifetime side effects then.
It's gonna be lifetime side effects. So
wow.
Without health care, that's some cruel stuff. That's what you ask me. That's cruel.
Yeah, that is unbelievable, man. And see, this really make a great segue into what our show is about today. For those of you who are just tuning in right now, the Business Zone is a business platform where Crystal and I share resources, advice, coaching, and mentoring services to help small businesses become business ready, contract ready, bank loan ready, and be able to pivot in this time of COVID. So with that being said, since this COVID thing started, and we know it started back in February, but when the impact really started was back in March. Since March until now, 40% of African American businesses went out of business. At least 40%. You see what I mean? That's not a good thing for the economy, man, because now what do we do? Where do we go?
And you have to think about it, the long-term effects. So now the mayor is thinking, because there's a rise, as I said earlier, there's a rise. So he's talking about maybe having to go back to stay at home. Well, we have, we have 7 more weeks on unemployment, and that, as of right now, hasn't been extended. But if you go back at home, and we're back in for you make July or stay at home, that means they're going to shut down everything that's been opening up. And so they're going to start shutting that down. Now, the people that were on PPP, they extended that out to 24 weeks. So you saved there. But then without your unemployment, the $600 that was coming from the federal government, that's going to end on July 31st. And they seem to be adamant. Actually, I read yesterday, they said July 31st, but actually, depending on how your state pays you, it may be over on the 25th of July.
Wow. That is crazy.
So now you're only going to get the whatever, like for self-employment, I think it was like $167 a week. And then for those, the maximum I think you can get is $348. Well, you got rent, because now the extension for not paying rent will be over by the end of July. So we got some issues. You could actually have a lot of evictions, which from a business standpoint is, that's stressful for those that are bankruptcies, losing your home because you can't pay the mortgage. It's like, is this what you want? Is this making America great? That people are going to be completely bankrupt?
This is unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. So those small businesses that are still hanging on by a thin thread, we really want to, help to connect them with some resources. And Crystal, you have your community briefings every Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. Yes, and on your last briefing, you talked about some great resources, right?
Yes, we did. We talked, and every week, that's the purpose. And we're bringing people to you so that you can reach out to them, and they're accessible to you. So you really, really need to tune in every Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. So if you got some questions, 2 weeks ago, we had B of A. This week we had JP Morgan. And we're going to have some more. But there's some things that are going on, like Vermont Slauson, they just got $500 million from Netflix. So we have somebody that's going to be on next Thursday to talk about that. And then I'm going to reach out to Joe Razan and have someone on the show to talk about that. And that's kind of our topic today. Is where is there's we got two pandemics going on, right? We got the coronavirus pandemic, and then we have the uprising that after George Floyd was killed. So now we have the uprising of the civil unrest. So that's creating, that's an issue too, because it actually, if people are out there protesting and they're not protective with their face mask and so forth, then that's an issue. So because you're going to share you're exposing the germs, right? So now that's going to be another problem. So there's just so much going on right now, and I know everybody's stressed out, and as they should be, because really our livelihood has been changed. I mean, just think, we're just getting at a place where we're starting to venture out safely with our face masks and so forth. But now they're going to tell you to go back in. So what does that really look like for the economy? Businesses are already hanging on by a thread.
Right.
And
it is on
right now.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. You already have. Just think about this, Gilbert. 20 million people are on unemployment.
And actually, those are not even real numbers. I think it's about 30 million, because the week before it was 40. It was 40. So I don't see, and they're claiming that it's new job. It's not really new job. Some people just return to their old employers. So it's not real new job created that they're talking about.
Right, but get this. That is exactly what happened. People they went to work, but the PPP money gonna run out.
Yeah, and then what?
And now what? So they're gonna have to let those people go, because they're not creating and generating revenue that can carry on their regular. It's back to March. It's like they rolled back 8 weeks. Now where are we at? 13 weeks. We're gonna roll back to March.
See, the planning at the head of the snake is not really cohesive and well organized. You see what I mean? They have no clue what they're doing. So they're just going along. As they go along, they just coming up with throwing all this stuff to the wall and see what will stick. This is ridiculous. While small businesses are going out of business because they got to take care of family, they got to take care of their employees. It's ridiculous.
And I think the saddest thing is you put all your efforts, your finances to having your own business. We were rolling along. I mean, we've had, even the previous years were a little stressful for some people. By January, I know I had felt lighter. Who could imagine? I had felt lighter. I had contracts on board. Yeah. I had speaking engagements.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all of that was gone.
Oof.
So
it was gone.
And it was gone. And I happen to be one I can pivot, man. I'm like a ballerina, man. I know how to pivot. I can stand on my toes and do like this. But not everybody can stand on one toe and do like this.
That is true. That is true. And that's part of the reason why what we're doing on this show is trying to help small businesses, many of them who's been disenfranchised and displaced and been treated poorly because of this COVID business interruption crisis, to really prepare themselves to get back in the game and take it to another level, because there's no way we're going to go back. There's nothing as going back to normal. There's, a lot of what we had before wasn't normal anyway. So we don't want to go back to that. We want to transition into something newer, better, and more sustainable. So part of that is these small businesses need to recognize what their business structure is all about, what their back office is about, and what is required to get them ready so they can pivot on a dime, just like you. Something comes up, you can pivot in seconds. And that's having all your documents ready. So we need to help get them to understand. So we have a link for you guys to check out. If you guys really want to know if your back office is in order, there's an assessment, a free assessment that you guys can take if you go to the Small Biz Pro website, the smallbizpro.net, smallbizpro.net. Just go there. When you go there on the homepage, you scroll down to the middle of the page, you'll see 3 orange buttons. Those are 3 assessment tools. Just click on any one of them and answer the questions. It will tell you, are you ready or not, or what you need to be ready. So we're here to help you.
That's important, and people need to. And you really right now want to find out what your weak spots are.
Yeah.
What are you, one, to identify. I just had a consult with somebody this morning on identifying what they want to do something, and they were trying to figure it out. And so I was asking, what's your strengths? What do you do really, really well? And then can we take what you do really, really well and convert it to a revenue generating product that you can start selling virtually, and so that you can start making some money? And they were like, oh, wow. And then, I kind of had to guide them a little bit. And after I finished guiding them, they were like, oh my God, I'm going to make some phone calls right now, because they figured out a way to do that. And sometimes it just may be that. So I have, if anybody really wants to have that conversation that are listening and that will eventually be listening to this show, I offer a 45-minute complimentary conversation, a consult. And so you can reach out to me, because it might just be a tweet, right? It might just be a tweet that you can just do, and I can help you see a bigger vision, because we're in it. So sometimes we don't see it. And so I think, so you guys should take me up on that offer, because that helps. And we got another offer, and that offer is we are looking to increase our subscribers on YouTube. So we need you guys to go over to YouTube, or right there, subscribe on our YouTube channel. That's at the Business Zone. And some of you are watching from the Business Zone live right now. Go up to that button and subscribe, and then hit the bell so that you will get a notification, because every week we will be on air with some amazing information and tips. Now, because we know that you guys like to be treated nicely and like little gifts, Gilbert and I are going to offer you a session with us for one, subscribing, but we also want you to do a number of things. If you enjoy this show, then send it to everybody everyone you know, and have them subscribe. We want 1,000 subscriptions or subscribers by July 31st. July 8th is our anniversary, and we will have been on the air 4 years. So this is our celebration to ourselves. I will be sending out marketing materials all week and leading up to July 8th. So going over to our YouTube channel and subscribe won't hurt, don't cost you anything, and you might be able to spend some time with Gilbert and I helping you tweet your business.
And that is really great information there, Crystal, because being on the air for over 4 years, there's a lot of materials that we have that can help these businesses. So that's another reason why you want to subscribe. You click on that subscription button, and immediately all the videos that we've done so far on this show, talking about a variety of different topics, from building your infrastructure, getting certified, getting contracts, marketing your business, getting patent, trademarks, and all of that. It's all there so you guys can access it. And it's like having a free class. You guys can get this information and run your business efficiently. We can guide, we can coach you.
I've been in business for 30 years. You've been in business for what, same time?
Yes.
So so you guys only see the surface of us. You don't know how deep we go.
Yeah, really deep, really deep. So you guys, this is something you want to really capitalize on. And you mentioned something earlier, Crystal, which I want to piggyback on real quickly. Crystal is saying that she had an assessment with a client earlier, and she was telling that person to select something that they like to do. That's the essence of this whole thing. This is the essence of you being in business, is doing something that you really like. You don't want to go into business doing something you don't like, then the passion won't be there and you won't generate the kind of revenues that you're going to need, because you're just doing it just to do it, just to pay some bills. Going
right.
in
No,
business,
you don't ever want to be being in business just to pay a bill.
exactly.
No,
You got to be in business because you're there to solve a pain in the marketplace. You're there to solve a problem. That's why you're in business. The money will come after that, because your clients are going to see the passion that you have. They're going to see how your value proposition comes across when you're delivering it, because it's just natural to you. That's what you do. So then they'll be willing to pay for that great service. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. So yeah, you definitely want to love. I love what I do, Gilbert. I don't have a problem working day or night because I love what I do.
You
and
know
so
me.
Everyone should love me. I know, Gilbert, you are up into the wee hours. You fall. Now, I don't fall asleep in front of the computer, but you fall asleep in front of the computer.
I work until I
me
fall
down.
asleep.
You don't know how to shut you down. Now that's some commitment to your business, falling asleep in front of the computer on a regular basis.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing.
I'm not that committed.
So
guys.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So we were going through our materials for today's show, and we came across this article in Forbes magazine online about it's called a 15% pledge. There's an entrepreneur, her name is Aurora James, and she came up with this formula that she thinks would help African American businesses who are still out there and trying to hold on, trying to get to the next level. And she's suggesting that because we've been discriminated against all these years systematically, a good way to help resolve this problem is to do what she calls a 15% pledge. And the reason for the 15% pledge is there are 15% of the economy is made up of African Americans. 15% African Americans. So she figures if we represent 15% of the economy, why not make 15% of your opportunities available to us? So that's one way she's suggesting that we can get over this problem for African Americans. We're not looking for a handout. What we're looking for is opportunity so we can really help to solve your problems as efficient and effective as our competitors. So she has identified a few key retailers who really should start with this 15% process. And she's got retailers like Target. She's got Sephora, Whole Foods, and ShopBop. I think that those four would be a good place to start in order to bring about economic justice and equality for small businesses. So I really think that was a very good concept, Crystal.
I think that's an excellent concept, because I don't know how much, and I'm going to have to do a little research, because you know how I am about research.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to do a little research to find out how much money we spend in Target. Now, here's what I know about Target.
Yeah.
I go to Target with the intentions of buying like toothpaste or going in to buy
toiletries,
mouthwash, right? Or my contact lens solution, right? That's my intention. So I'm going in not to spend any more than $15, $20. Yeah. When I come out, I didn't spend $100. Yeah. Now, if that's just me, how many other people, and I don't have a family, so what would happen if we spending a lot of money in Target. The other place they need to target for that 15% is Costco.
Yes,
Because
yes.
I know black people love them some
I'm a
Costco.
I'm a victim. I'm a victim of that. I go into Costco to buy one of those chickens for $4.99, the rotisserie chicken. I come out with a cart full of grocery at $200. I'm going, what? That's
So,
not why I came here.
right. So you need to get your 15% back, right?
I need
So
my
it's
15%.
important.
Yes. So for organizations like those, Costco's and others, they need to do business with African American business at least 15%. At least 15. And we're not asking for a lot. 15% is nothing in comparison to the other groups or providing services to them. Now,
Yeah.
Crystal,
And
go
I
ahead.
think, Gilbert, what I've done is I went through and I did a research. There is tons of money out there. So you guys need to start tuning in right now. Take out your pen and pencil because there is so much money. Oh, I don't know what we want to call it, white guilt. I don't know what we want to call it. But right now, there are people who are so uncomfortable with what's going on. The solution for them is to throw some money at it. So that works. So even though, and these are grants, these are not, and some of them will be no loans. I don't think any of them that I read about is going to be loans. So so get your pen and pencil. I'm getting ready to share with you some amazing opportunities that you as a business owner can take advantage of that can help us out of this. And you know what, Gilbert, I'm thinking that Gregory Sneed says shopping discretions. He says he can go. Whoa, Greg said he can go to Costco and buy one thing. Now that's some discipline, Gregory.
Man, I need to learn
That is, Gregory, that's not us.
I need to learn his discipline.
And so Greg said Costco loses money on every chicken, and it is designed to get you in the store to buy a whole cart. So there you go, Gilbert. You are falling into the marketing trap.
Exactly. See, the chicken
You're
is
gonna
a
have to
lost
sit
leader.
down with Gregory.
The chicken is a lost leader. They don't make money on that, so they use that as a magnet to draw us in, so we can pay for the other stuff. Oh,
That's what Greg says. So you bought into the lost leader.
oh
So
yeah.
with that being said, again, guys, you're tuned into the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're just giving you all we got, man, and we're helping you make sure that we become a thriving society and not a surviving society. Bankrupt society. And I think we're at that place right now. I don't know. It seems to me right now, Greg says Gregory Sneed, who was on the show last week, says, I can teach people how to have spending discretion. So we're gonna have Greg back on so he can give us that secret.
I love it. I love it.
But I think, for the last couple of years, everyone has talked about, and I'm gonna share the screen right now, and everyone has talked about how in 200 years, it's gonna take us Black people 256 years in order to if we were even to get close to the wealth of white America. But now, there are a number of things going on. So we do have a COVID, and I think COVID may have come with a silver lining. And so we need to be able to take that into consideration that there's a silver lining. Now, because it's forcing us to change our businesses, it's forcing us to look at different options, it's forcing us to pivot, it's forcing us to do a lot of things that we weren't ready to do. And no matter how we coach people, we're not doing it, right?
It's also helping us to learn more. It's also helping us to learn a lot more about our business itself.
It is, and it's also given us an opportunity to sit in on multiple workshops and seminars via Zoom because we don't have anything else to do, and be able to acquire more skills to help our business as well. But I also think that we should be tuned in to, like Greg says, the financial literacy programs, financial wisdom programs, how do you take those dollars and maybe invest in the stock market or buy some things that's for long term that will protect us, so you're not dependent only on your resources. Hey, Veronica. So you're not only tuned in to just the money that you're making. We need to get into a place where we have reserves, right? But right now we're going to talk about the folks that are giving us money, right? Or providing money for us. So corporations have said, I need to help you guys. And the way I'm going to do that is their corporations are pledging to invest in the Black community. And that's a good thing, right? That's an excellent thing.
Right.
We just have to make sure that
we're ready for it. We're ready to receive and implement it properly.
Yes. So let me hope you guys got some pens and paper, both on the watch show on Facebook Live and YouTube. PayPal.
And for those who are just tuning in, not sure what show or what program this is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We are on every Friday from 3 to 4. Our job is to help small businesses with assistance, resources, advice, coaching that will help you to grow your business. So just so you know.
Yep. So the PayPal, they are pledging 500 million long-term economic opportunity to support Black and underrepresented minority businesses and community. So that's big. So because a lot of us are now using PayPal as our resource to collect our monies, right? So now they're going to provide. So you want to go to Google PayPal and check out their $500 million long-term opportunity and their pledge, so you can get details on what that entails. But some of the money is going to go to some of the organizations that are serving the small business population, and then some of the money is going to go directly to you, and then some other opportunities, some loans. PayPal is in the loan business as well. They're probably making some changes on how you apply for capital in order to take your business to the next level. So that's the first corporation. The next one is Apple. Apple, everybody got Apple phones. There are people that stood in line to get their Apple phone. I myself is I am an Android person, so I'm going to have to find out what Samsung has. But Apple is pledging $100 million racial equity and justice initiative that will focus on criminal justice reform and expanding economic and educational opportunities for people of color. Now, if you are a nonprofit that's on this call right now, and anybody that's watching the watch party or watching us on Facebook, please share this with everyone, because these are opportunities. Monies had literally dried up for the nonprofit world. Literally. The money we were getting was insulting. So now, but you got to divide, you got to create impactful programs that will make a change. We can no longer half step. We can no longer just be doing it just because. We got to really be part of this opportunity, because this window is going to shut real soon.
And also, Crystal, what I'd like the listeners and viewers to know is, if you're a nonprofit, always make sure that you're aligned with a grant writer. You need to have a good grant writer who can help you, because many of these are grants, and they're going to want to see someone who can write an impressive grant to explain to them how this money is going to be used and what problem it's going to solve in the community. So make sure you start reaching out to grant writers and start vetting them.
Grant writers, and also somebody, you can go to Fiverr. They're excellent. If you guys know, y'all checked out our intro, that came from a Fiverr person. I know there's some people in my community that can do that, and I'll reach out to you, but it took them 3 days. and the investment was marginal compared to what I needed it fast, and they were right on point. So so you want to create a pitch deck, or you want a good grant writer that can identify the individuals that can help you. Now, here's one, Gilbert, you and I are going to take advantage of this one.
Yeah.
And this is YouTube. YouTube is pledging $100 million, multiple year content funds dedicated to amplifying and developing the voices of Black creators and artists and their stories on a video platform.
Beautiful.
So we're going to find out about that and find the resources that we need to make the Business Zone bigger and better. For us, it's about we need a professional marketing a person that can expand our reach. And our reach is not just here locally in California. We want our reach to reach the entire United States and the entire world. As a matter of fact,
the Business Zone is broadcast worldwide. It's in Nigeria, it's in Ghana, it's in China, it's in all these other areas. People are tuning in, and they're calling us. You know, they want to know what type of resources they can access. So this is a universal show.
Actually, one of our interviews, the one that you interviewed me in March, that interview went to it was viewed like 29 times, which is, you know, not a lot, but is significant for us. And it was watched and viewed in Venezuela by 2,100 people.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Venezuela. We've got some big love in Africa, but Venezuela, man.
We're getting a lot of love in Venezuela, man. A lot of love. The Business Zone.
Montego Bay. Gregory said that we're getting some love in Montego Bay. We're gonna have Gilbert start sending it to his family.
We're gonna have to cook some of that curry goat and oxtail there, Gregory.
Yeah. So the next one is Comerica Bank, and this one just happened, I want to say, on Monday. And Comerica Bank is partnering up and investing in the National Business League, which is out of Michigan. And I didn't know who the National Business League was, but this is an organization that was started by Booker T. Washington.
Beautiful.
And that's how long they've been around. So they are announcing a $1 million commitment to support Black-owned small businesses, and will launch. And the National Business League is going to launch the Black Capital Access Program, the BCA. And it appears that there is a branch here in Los Angeles. They're in several states across the country. Gregory says he wants the curry goat and with rice and peas and cocoa bread. That's what he wants. Now, Greg, Gilbert is a good cook too.
Yes, I'll take care of you, my man. No problem. I'll hook you up.
And then the other one is where we are, and we spent a lot of time. And this one kind of surprised me because there's been some things going on and this is with Facebook, and there's some things that have been going on with Facebook where he was saying he was supporting the man in the White House, and he was putting a lot of his money there, and he wasn't going to stop the hate rhetoric, right? But let me tell you the power of an advertising dollar, right? The more corporate responsible, socially responsible organizations like Ben and Jerry ice cream. I think it's a whole list of them, and I'll have them for you guys for next week. They pulled their advertising dollars off of Facebook. Now that'll get some attention when you start pulling advertising dollars, right? You change people's minds, and so all of a sudden, and the two things happened at Facebook. So the advertising dollars started to dry up from the corporations that are socially conscious, and then their employees did a virtual walkout. They
Wow.
were so upset when he said that he would just continue to let entities say whatever they want and no fact checking and just inundate the computer with all of this rhetoric, this hate rhetoric. And so his employees were very upset, and they did a virtual walkout.
Yeah, see, you can't have fake news all over the place. And see, one of the reasons why I agree with those employees walking out, because they allow him, the man in the White House, that person, they allow that person to put all those fake news on Facebook. But when people like you and I put legitimate information on there, they shut it down. They block it. So
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I don't get that either. So, in fact, I think I did a show. We did a show on the tapestry of Black business, and it was really talking about how we stood as as how much revenue we generated based upon the size of our businesses.
Right.
And they wouldn't let me blast it. I couldn't market it. It was ridiculous.
And that's informational, that's educational, but they're blocking that. And to me, it seemed as if it was a part of the system trying to suppress us and in preventing us from getting that information out, so the public will understand the dynamics of African American business, the history of it, and how it thrived throughout the year. So that to me was some systematic bias and prejudice.
The stuff that's usually there. But so now we're gonna give him his props, his much respect, because now Facebook is announcing that it's going to be committing to $200 million to support Black-owned businesses, Black creators, and nonprofits serving the Black community. The funding, in the form of cash grants and ad credits, is part of the Social Giants pledge to invest $1.1 billion to support Black and diverse suppliers and communities in the U.S. by the end of 2021. They also will offer free digital training, skill training, with goals to reach 2 million members of the Black and Latina communities over the next 3 years, as well as give 100,000 scholarships to Black students working toward digital skills certificates. In addition, Facebook said is creating a new area of Facebook app called Lift Black Voices, and they also have a goal to increase. They have a goal to increase their employees, to bring on Black employees and creators to Facebook, and as well as their goal by 2023, he wants to have 50% of his workforce to be from the underrepresented communities by 2023. And over the next 5 years, he's committed to having 30% more people of color and including 30% more Black people in leadership positions. And then his final move was he is going to be fighting that $100 million will be earmarked for Black-owned businesses creators, $25 million in support of Black content creators, $75 million in grants and credit, cash and credit to support Black-owned businesses and nonprofits that serve. So that is his commitment. So if that all happens, I will take my hat off and give him much love.
and just remember, audience, all of you are listening, remember this show is being recorded, so we will make it available for you so you can rerun it at any time, so you can get all this information that we're disseminating right now, because I know it's a lot of information we're giving you, but it's valuable information that can help you to the next level.
Exactly. And so, as well as this, if this wasn't enough for everybody, now Google is committing to $175 million and to invest in Black entrepreneurs support Black entrepreneurs, as well as invest in Black-led led capital firms. So they're going to do that. And then there was one more, because now they just money rolling out, man, just rolling out.
And the final one is that 15% pledge that we talked about earlier, and this is one that Target and Whole Food and some other retailers are pledging in order to support Black-owned businesses.
And there are others. There's the Alphabet Inc., which is part of Google. They're going to do $12 million. There's Amazon, that's $10 million. There's we all know about the Bank of America, and if you go to the briefing from last week, the community briefing, you will be able to hear Anthony Turner talk about their commitment. So they're going to do $1 billion over the next 4 years. Cisco Systems is going to do $5 million for just equal justice initiatives and legal defense fund and Black Lives Matter. Coca-Cola is going to do $2.5 million for equal justice, the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, and the National Center of Civil and Human Rights. Comcast, $100 million going toward fighting equal justice and civil rights, and $25 million in media. Now that's big because Byron Allen sued them, right?
Yeah.
And he lost it. Now they came back. So that's huge right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, what about J.P. Morgan Chase? Are they pledging anything in this?
Not
according. I think you had her on your show yesterday, right?
Yeah, she didn't talk about any money.
Oh, okay.
No money. Home Depot, and I would imagine this is in response because people start not going to Home Depot and going over to Lowe's, because Lowe's actually had already committed to $1 million a week before, and so everybody stopped going to Home Depot to buy their home development products and went to Lowe's. So now Home Depot is doing $1 million for the lawyer committee for civil rights. Intel is doing $1 million to support Black Lives Matter. Lego company, the toy company, they're doing $4 million to educate children. Microsoft is doing $1.5 million, Netflix $1 million, and I believe Lawrence Lawson just got $500,000 of that. Nike is doing $40 million, and Price Waterhouse $1 million. So I tell you, everybody's just throwing money at us. Michael LeBron he's created his own entertainment center called Media Center called
Spring Hill.
And they're looking to bring on Black creators and Black creators and create their own media thing. He even has, you remember when what's his name told him to shut up and dribble? So one of his programs is called Shut Up and Dribble. Yeah.
That is amazing, man.
So those are all of the people. That's just, there's more. There's a lot more. Procter and Gamble, P&G. So, and these are places, because remember, Black people are the number one, they are the number one consumers in this country. And so we have helped make those businesses, in addition to slavery where we gave them free labor, but we have helped them become wealthy. So
we've built a lot. We built the White House. We built a lot here in this country.
Oh yeah, a lot of, they love our culture, but they don't like us. So embrace the culture, man. Love the Black culture, love the Black music, love the Black everything, but don't like the Black people.
Yeah.
But I want to say this, Gilbert, before we close today. So we have to recognize our own value.
Yes.
And we have to recognize our own power.
Yeah.
And if it's not for us, we need to recognize that power for our children. So we need to, our commitment is making sure we be financial advocates of the monies that's coming in, and that make sure that we're using them to help and really build our community, our businesses that in return will build our communities. Also, now that was just that, right? We also got the reparations sitting out there because the bill was passed by the state of California to at least start talking about what does that look like far as money. Yeah. But we got to be on board. So there's some call of actions that I must ask you guys. One, get involved, do your research, stay woke, because there are things going on that you need to stay woke. But you need not to be a Facebook activist. You need to get up and you need to use your voice and to make sure that information is being disseminated to our people. Second thing is you need to get your house, your business house in order and your personal life in order. You need to get trust to protect your home and your assets. You need to make sure that your business is running the way a business that is looking to grow is supposed to be running, right? And then you need to be able to pivot and learn, because this won't be the last time you have to pivot. So you're going to have to develop some ballerina twirling skills like I have in order to stay afloat. Okay. And then the final thing I want to say is, Gilbert, yesterday, I did have the young lady from JP Morgan on the show, on the briefing. She kind of skirted around a lot of questions, which is what a lot of corporate people do, right? They don't really want you to nail them and hold them down to the ground on something that they've said. But here's the thing I'm going to say to our people. I bank at Broadway Federal, and currently it isn't Black owned, but now I even found out recently that there was a hostile takeover of it. So that's interesting by itself. And I got to get more detail, but that explains a whole lot. But the one thing that I like about Broadway Federal is that it's my Cheers. You guys remember the show, the Cheers, where everyone knows your name and they make you feel comfortable. Yeah. If I'm going to put my money in your bank, I want to feel comfortable. Yeah.
And call me by my first name, know my name.
Right. The branch manager, I can just stop by her door and say, hey, how you doing, Delroy? It's nice to see you. Happy birthday. We talked about her child's wedding. They're friendly. And all the way down to the security guard at the gate. He knows my name at the three branches. Now I think they have 2 branches, but the 3 branches. So this is what makes me feel comfortable when I know my money's there. And if something happens, I can call them and they're there for me. I don't like banks that make me feel like I got to chase you down to get information. Because the one thing we found out about COVID and the PPP, you have to have a relationship with your bank. That's imperative. Yeah. So I need you guys to really look at your relationships with your bank. There's a number of bankers that are part of the Recycling Black Dollars family, and that they're friendly. We have CTI and Union Bank, and so all of those, City National Bank. So those are banks that you can have a one-on-one. They're open to meeting you and having conversations with you. So that's just what I'm gonna say. If your money is in somebody's bank, you should not have to chase them down to find out how you can build a relationship, because your bank should be part of your team. Would you agree, Mr. Gilbert?
I totally agree. And one of the things that I also want to add to that before we hop off this conference call is, I just put my email address up there on the chat column. So if you guys need to reach out, make sure you go ahead.
You put it in the private chat. You got to go up.
Is that a private chat?
Let me put it there, because it's got to be in the group chat.
Yeah,
that was in the private chat. So okay. Gilbert at the Buchanan.
Gilbert at the BuchananGroup.net.
Group.net.
And also, if you guys need any information on how to get ready so that you can participate, because you have to be ready. There's no half stepping with this. You cannot play around. You got to be ready. If you're not ready, guess what? You're going to be left by the wayside, because businesses right now, it's before it was a dog eat dog world. Now it's worse. Now even cats are eating dogs now. So you guys want to be ready with your information. You want to be ready with your information. Your
Yes.
back office is in place. You want to make sure. And if you want to do that assessment, again, like I say, you email me. We can do the assessment. I can walk you through the process, get you ready. But the only way you're going to take advantage of this opportunity is to make sure that your business is ready. So when these organizations reach out to you to help you, support you as a Black-owned business or minority-owned business, and if you're not ready, they're going to move on to your competitor.
That is so true. And Veronica, yes, it was, and I'll send you over the information that I found that was sent over to me. And a lot of our businesses, we jump right on. Oh yeah, we lost it. Nah, it's hostile takeovers. If it's been in the community for long periods of time, nobody just handed it over to anybody. There are hostile takeovers taking place. So, and I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the news. There are several councilmen that the city is actually prosecuting because there's a whole lot of stuff going on in the city planning, in the council. There's a lot of like mafia stuff going on in the city hall, and so a number of people have gotten arrested and are going to be going to jail for extortion and going to Vegas and getting boatloads of Vegas chips. Y'all need to read the LA Times and subscribe to it, because it's got some interesting news on lately.
It's the Los Angeles swamp, so we got to clean that swamp too.
It's a Los Angeles swamp, yeah. So go to my Facebook page. I put a lot of that information up. We gotta wake up, man, because we're good for saying somebody lost something and not knowing the backstory. Usually there is a big backstory.
So that
brings me to
we've got a little less than 3 minutes to go on the show. So let's see if we can recap some stuff, Crystal, for our audience, so that they know exactly the highlights of the show today and what we're talking about. We talked about the 15% pledge. You guys really want to check that out. And also, if you don't mind, there is a training program coming up with GLAC, the Greater African American Chamber of Commerce. They're starting a program where they're preparing small businesses, minority and small businesses, to pursue contract opportunity. That's going to start July 22nd. You guys, if you're interested, you definitely want to reach out to GLAC, Greater Los Angeles African American Chamber, and ask them how to get enrolled, because they're steamrolling. They're moving fast. They're not going to wait for anyone. They sent out some enrollment forms recently, so reach out to them and get involved so you can get piece of this pie.
I agree. And the other recap is that there are so many other corporations that are providing money. So go out and do your Google. I will put the list on our Facebook page of the Business Zone Facebook page, so you can go and then do your research to find out how it benefits you, especially our nonprofits. The other thing is banking. Make sure that your bank is sending you much love. And one of the other things is being connected, making sure we are ready to vote November 3rd. That is so important. And I hear that if you do not have your real California driver's license or a passport card, which is what I have, then you will not be able to vote. So you need to and if you haven't registered, so you need to register now. You need to go through the process while we got 3 or 4 months, because all kind of shenanigans is going to be taking place, moving polls, not telling you where you vote. But the other thing is you want to be able to campaign and champion mail-in ballots. I have been doing mail-in ballots for the last 15 years. Sometime when it's an important one like Obama and certain other races, the last one, I took mine to Norwalk. It was worth the drive. So you want to make sure you get your voting in. It's important. And not just voting for the president. You need to also really pay close attention to what you're voting locally, because what affects us is local. Not necessarily, we get the after effects or the long-term effects for federal, but for local government, that affects everything about you. And there's a lot of stuff going on right now. So you want to make sure, be responsible, be connected, be involved. And so with that, it is 4:00. We want you guys to stay around for a few minutes, because what we want to do is share our new outro. We shared you with our video, our intro. So we want to share with you our outro. We want you guys to have a fantastic weekend. Be safe, wear your mask. Let's wear our mask so that we don't get locked down and shut down again, because we can't afford that. Okay.
And
that was the other thing. Remember,
don't forget
we got 7 more weeks of unemployment.
Don't forget to subscribe to our link. Go to you.
Don't forget what?
And subscribe.
Oh yes, subscribe and hit the little bell. And now with that, we're out. So you guys have a great weekend. We enjoyed ourselves today, and we hope you got a lot of information. So bye guys. Have a great weekend. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
All right.